Habari Gani, what's the news? This is Candace Hydebrier, and welcome to the 6th night of Kwanzaa, where we light the 6th candle of Kuumba. Tonight, we celebrate Kuumba, or creativity. Creativity for the purpose of collective restoration that leaves behind a beautiful inheritance to be passed down to those that come after us. We see this reflected in the very beginning of creation, when God created the moon, the stars, and everything else, including us, out of the empty void of nothingness. And once He declared that it was good, walked in the garden with us, allowing us to benefit from, take care of, and inherit the bounty of His creation. And like our Heavenly Father, we also, through generations, have created out of nothing, out of the desire to take chaos and darkness and turn it into something beautiful, worthy to be passed down and left for those we love. As we journey through the history of our people, we can see this Kuumba spirit of creativity play out through the generations. Looking at the initiation rites of various African cultures that highlight the major milestones of life: the birth of a child, the journey into adulthood, the transition into death, and the joining of man and woman through marriage. During slavery, we see creativity that was born out of a need to survive and persevere. We took leftover scraps and turned them into soul food. We quilted rags into beautiful blankets that warmed us, but also warned us by weaving in secret messages to aid our escape from bondage. We took passages from the Bible and used them as the foundation of African American spirituals that soothed wounded hearts and uplifted broken spirits. We can see how this need to create was born out of the necessity to rebuild from the rubble of what was taken and forgotten. The inspiration to keep rising, growing, and flourishing continues to ignite the creativity of a people who can turn a handshake into a bonding ritual, heartbreak into the blues, and words of dehumanization into greetings that bond us together because of a shared trauma, but a promised hope. We take the ashes and form them into something new. We barter bread in exchange for reading lessons like Frederick Douglass. Discover 500 uses for the peanut like George Washington Carver. View the earth from a space station like May Carol Jemison. Write ourselves into the future like Octavia Butler. Fuse poetry and music into rap. Create jazz and R&B. Wear braids and cornrows while earning MBAs and PhDs. Adorn a black girl's hair with colorful baubles and beads that look like flowers growing from the soil of her crown. Turn parking lots into community gardens. Create safe havens in our churches that lift God in praise while also being command centers for the gatherings that helped usher in the civil rights movement. And create unique and rare names that reflect the hopes and dreams we have for our children. We have the lock on creativity, be it born out of necessity or just the pure joy that comes from making something that is a reflection of you, something that says, I was here, I made something beautiful, and it will carry on long after I leave this earth. Kuumba leads to ideas others have not thought of, solutions never before considered, and enhancement in our way of thinking, doing, and being. The Kuumba spirit is always operating under the purpose of restoring us to the best version of ourselves as individuals and as a people. To do always as much as we can, in the way we can, in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it. Kuumba is a spark that leads us to create the beauty that we want to see in the world. And the blessings born out of that are never really blessings if we don't share and pass them to others. So I ask, how is the spirit of Kuumba reflected in your life? What are you creating today that you can leave behind for the benefit of your children, community, or the world? Thank you so much for joining us to honor the spirit of Kuumba on the 6th night of Kwanzaa. Harambe, 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 Harambe.